I found the tape in my grandmother's attic 2 weeks after she died, buried under a pile of old quilts and yellowed tax returns. It wasn't labeled, just a plain Maxell cassette with the word night written in her careful cursive on the side. She was 93 when she passed, a woman who spent her final decade in a recliner watching game shows and complaining about the mailman. She never talked about the past, not once, not ever. I assumed she just didn't have interesting stories. The tape player was in a box of my old things, a chunky silver Panasonic I used for language classes in high school. The belt drive squealed when I pressed play, but it worked. For 4 seconds there was nothing but the hiss of magnetic silence. Then a voice came through and it was hers, my grandmother's voice, but wrong. She sounded 30 years younger, her accent thicker, the pitch a little higher. She was whispering. "They don't want me to record this. They said never. But I need someone to know, in case I don't come back." I leaned closer to the speakers, the dust motes floating in the attic light, my skin already prickling. "My name is Alina Vance. Today is September 12th, 1978. I live at 47 Maple Crest Drive in Willow Creek, Ohio. I have been married to Richard for 22 years. I have 2 children. I am a secretary at the county assessor's office. I am average. I am forgettable." She laughed, a strange, brittle sound. "That's the trick. That's why they chose me." There was a long pause. I heard her breathing. Then the sound of a car engine starting. "I'm in the parking lot of the Willow Creek Mall. There's a van, a white van with no windows. The man inside is named Dr. Paulson. He is polite. He wears wire-rimmed glasses and a gray suit. He looks like someone's uncle. He looks safe. But I know what he does. I've seen the files." A door opened, footsteps on pavement. Another voice, male, muffled. "Good evening, Alina, right on time." "I'm here," my grandmother said, her voice thin. "You're going to ask me what this is about," the man said. "But you already know. You've been reading the reports, the ones in the basement filing cabinet, the ones marked not for circulation." I stopped breathing. I had been in that basement last week, clearing out my grandmother's things. There was no filing cabinet. There was nothing but a water heater and a sump pump. "I don't know what you mean," my grandmother said. "You don't have to lie to me, Alina. I'm not here to punish you. I'm here to offer you a position, a promotion if you will. You have a gift. A specific, unusual gift that we have been looking for. You can see them." "See what?" "The ones that don't belong, the spaces where they've been, the holes in the world they leave behind. Don't pretend. I know you see the vacancy in rooms. I know you feel the cold spots that aren't drafts. I know you sometimes wake up at 3:15 a.m. and you can't move, and you see a shape in the corner that looks like a person but isn't quite right. Am I wrong?" The tape went silent for so long I thought it had snapped. Then my grandmother spoke, and her voice was barely a whisper. "No, you're not wrong." "Then get in the van, Alina. We have a lot to show you." The engine revved, the tape crackled. Then a series of sounds that I still can't fully describe, a low hum that seemed to bend in the middle, a metallic screech, and then my grandmother's voice, trembling but clear. "We are not alone. We are never alone. They don't live here. They visit. And when they leave a residue, a footprint, a vacancy in the shape of a person. I am going to learn to see it, and I am going to teach them how to fill it." Click, the tape stopped. I sat in that attic for a long time, the player warm in my hands, the silence of the house pressing in. I didn't know what to make of it. My grandmother was a sweet old lady who watched Jeopardy and baked banana bread. She wasn't a spy. She wasn't a hunter of invisible things, but the voice on the tape was hers and the fear in it was real. I found 3 more tapes in the same box. I played them all that night. The second tape was dated November 1980. She described a series of tests in a concrete room with no windows. She was shown photographs, blurry black and white images of empty fields, vacant parking lots, empty hospital hallways. She was asked to identify the residue. She always pointed to the same spot, the corner, the place where the light didn't quite land. "You have an accuracy rate of 94%, Dr. Paulson said. That's higher than any of our other sensitives. You are exceptional, Alina." "I don't feel exceptional," she said. "I feel like I'm looking at pictures of ghosts." "They're not ghosts. Ghosts are leftovers. These are arrivals. They are not dead, Alina. They are not alive. They are elsewhere and they occasionally step through. When they do, they push the space aside. That push, that displacement is what you see. It's a scar on reality, and scars don't heal." "What do they want?" "They don't want anything. They're not conscious in the way we understand it. They are ecological, like a weather system, but they leave marks. And we need people who can read those marks, because sometimes, rarely, they take someone back with them. They fold a person into their space. And when that person returns, if they return, they are no longer quite human. The tape ended there. The third tape was dated 1985. My grandmother's voice had changed. It was flatter, more clinical, less afraid. I am now teaching other sensitives. Dr. Paulson is retired. I am the lead. I have seen 23 cases of fold return. The subjects are kept in a facility in Nevada. They do not age. They do not sleep. They recite numbers in sequences no one can translate. One of them, Subject 7, has been talking for 9 years without stopping. The subject does not breathe. She paused. I don't sleep either anymore, but that's fine. I have work to do. The fourth tape was dated 1993. She was crying. I came home today. I haven't been home in years. They let me visit Richard and the kids, but it's not the same. Diane is married. Michael is in college. Richard looks old. He asked me if I was okay. I said yes. I lied. I am not okay. They are everywhere now. I can't stop seeing them. The scars. Every person I walk past has a mark. Every room has a vacancy. The world is full of holes, and we are all just walking on thin ice over an ocean of something else. I want to stop seeing. I want to forget. Why don't you quit? That was a new voice. A woman younger, one of the assistants maybe. Because if I quit, my grandmother said, they will find another sensitive and another, and eventually one of them will find a fold that isn't empty. One of them will look inside and see something looking back, and then it will be too late. Someone has to watch. Someone has to see the scars. It has to be me. It has to be someone who can bear it. The tape clicked off. I cried in the attic. I cried for the grandmother I never knew, for the life she lived in secret, for the weight she carried alone. Then I dried my eyes and reached for the last tape. It was dated 2001. The label was different. This time it didn't say night. It said D-I-A-N-E. Diane was my mother's name. She died when I was 6. Car accident, black ice. That's what the police report said. The fifth tape began with a sound I have never been able to forget, a long, low moan that seemed to come from far away as if recorded through water. Then my grandmother's voice, aged and breaking. I found her. I found Diane. She was in the fold for 3 days. She came back, but she's not. She's not my Diane. The body is the same. The voice is the same, but there is a vacancy inside her. A scar in the shape of a daughter. A man's voice. We need to debrief the residue. It's still attached. You can't debrief a soul, Paulson. It's not a soul, Alina. It's infestation. We need to cut it out. No. Alina, look at her. She's not breathing. She hasn't breathed in 6 hours. She is a shell, a puppet. Something inside her is moving her mouth, and it is not your daughter. Please, let us help her. There was a long, terrible silence. I can't, my grandmother whispered. I can't let you kill her again. We're not killing her. We're killing what's wearing her. You don't know that. You don't know what's in there. You don't know if she's still in there. You don't know anything, Paulson. You've never seen a fold. You've never touched the vacancy. You just take notes. You don't see the marks on my skin. You don't feel the cold where my daughter used to be. So shut up. Shut up and let me hold her. A door slammed, footsteps. Then my grandmother's voice, soft, as if talking to a child. Diane, sweetheart, can you hear me? No response. Diane, blink twice if you can hear me. A pause, then 2 faint clicks. Oh God, you're still in there, okay? Okay, I'm going to get you out, I promise. I'm going to fix this. I'm going to bring you home. There was a sound I couldn't identify, a wet, rippling noise. Then my grandmother screamed. The tape ended. I did not sleep that night. I sat in the attic, staring at the tape player, the gray light of dawn bleeding through the window. I thought about my mother. I thought about her car accident. I thought about the funeral, the closed casket, the way my father never talked about what happened. I thought about the smell of rot in the car, the way the investigators said it was unusual for a single vehicle collision. I looked at the box. There was one more item inside, a photograph folded and faded. When I opened it, my hand started shaking. It was a Polaroid of my grandmother, Dr. Paulson, and a young woman I didn't recognize. They were standing in front of a white concrete building. The woman was smiling. She had dark hair, and she looked familiar in a way that made my stomach drop. I turned the photo over. On the back, in my grandmother's handwriting. Diane, day of extraction. She is talking again. She says she wants to meet her children. The date was 1987. I do not have a brother or sister. I am an only child. But the woman in the photo has my mother's face, and my mother didn't have me until 1994. I am writing this from my kitchen table. The tape player is next to me. I haven't turned it off. I'm afraid of what else might be on those tapes. I'm afraid of what I might find if I go back to the attic. I called my father today. I asked him about my mother's accident. He was quiet for a long time. "Your mother wasn't in an accident," he finally said. "She left. She said she had to go back. She said your grandmother called." "Went back where?" "She didn't tell me. She just said, 'There's a vacancy in the shape of me. I have to fill it.'" He hung up. The date on the photo is 1987. My mother was carrying me in 1994. That means I was born 7 years after she was extracted from the fold. I don't know what that makes me. I don't know if I am real, but I know I can see the cold spots now. I know I can feel the shapes in corners. I know I have my grandmother's gift. And I know with absolute certainty that someone is standing behind me as I type this. They are made of vacancy. They are made of the space where my mother used to be, and they are smiling.